Angela Yee. I'm here with my guy, Numano.
Yep.
And literally, we got Numano today, okay?
That's
but
right.
Let's get into this Yee tea first. Now, Michelle Obama, you know, recently she's been talking a lot about her relationship with Barack Obama. People at first had thought that they were getting a divorce. They noticed she wasn't showing up at some of these events, but she said, why can I just not be my own person and not have to go to
They're
everything?
Never breaking up.
All right. Well, Michelle Obama was recently on an episode of her In My Opinion podcast and talked about how she ended up marrying Barack after dating some other guys.
Dating is important because you've got to try on some things to know what really fits. Because I had those experiences when Barack showed up. This was a man who knew what he wanted. So there was none of the guessing games that I think we as women get used to playing and kind of enjoy it.
Yes.
Being with somebody where it's a total, I don't know if he likes me and maybe he'll call. And, you know, we kind of sometimes get into that game and we mistake that game for love.
Yep.
But it's a game.
She said it.
Yeah.
Dating is very important.
And then also just, you shouldn't be trying to guess and play these games. Like, I should know this is how you, that's why I always tell people, just be direct.
Right.
Like, if you really want to be with somebody, sometimes you're like, well, I'm not going to
Just
call
tell
to
them.
this. But yeah, you got to just do what you
The
want to do.
process is important. You see, you got to try me out to see if I fit.
All right. All right, now let's talk about Vic Mensa. He recently on Instagram talked about the things that he's been going through. And who knew, but he has a sex and love addiction. And you know what's so interesting? He talks about anhedonia, and in that book that I was telling you about by Dr. Judith Joseph, high functioning depression, where she talks about that. Anhedonia is one of the things that she talks about in that book. That is a symptom of
anhedonia is
when you can't feel pleasure, like you're always looking to be happy, but you just don't feel it. And you talked about that, but here's what Vic Mensa had to say.
So I was never actually in AA. I was in a different program called SLAA, Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous. It came from a pattern of sexualizing my emotional pain and the shame that came along with it. Started with celibacy. I listed every sexual experience I could remember from childhood. I broke down crying because you list your motivations for everyone, and almost none of it was about physical attraction or love. It was all sadness, escapism, and validation. I mean, so many of us sexualize our difficult emotions because it's easier than facing them. I've been learning about a condition called anhedonia. It's the inability to experience pleasure.
See?
That's deep.
So now what are you thinking, Mano?
Yeah, I'm thinking I need to read this book.
As you're preparing to get married, I think that it's important for you to explore these things.
Understood. Yes, I believe that. I agree. This is like once in the blue. I actually agree with you.
All right. See? All right. And with Vic Mensa. All right. Well, that is your Yee tea. Now, that's also sponsored by Saucony. So, you know I love some Saucony. And we're going to be doing a run club as well from my coffee shop.
I need a pair. Because I'm going on the run.
Can you look on the website and see which ones you want? And I got you.
Okay.
All right. When we come back, new music. You know it's a Friday. And our very own Numano. We got some Numano music. And we'll talk about that. But also who has new projects out today. It's Way Up.